Just funny. I was thinking about somebody from last year I talked to in the mortgage business. Been in the mortgage business for 30 years, and we have a bet that I haven't collected on yet. That he said, "Oh, mortgage rates are absolutely going up." I said, "They'll be below 3% in the next 3 years." You owe me a steak, buddy. You owe me a steak. Before we talk about the severance, I want to help everybody understand. I know everybody's a bit perturbed about cash and coin shortage, right? We hear about that. So every year, the Fed asks a group of 3,000 people, to keep a diary of how they pay for goods and services, and the use of cash has been steadily dropping in the U.S. So it was 26% of transactions in 2018, down from 31% in 16. People, as people are hoarding toilet paper, I'm not saying using cash as toilet paper, but people are hoarding money. And most money is electronic. I rarely use cash anyway. But cash for some subsets of the economy of what we do is very important. I don't think it's this big conspiracy theory yet. Always could be. My mind could change. But the point I'm saying is that we are seeing what I see is this. It's comforting to have cash. I think people feel during a crisis, during the Depression, right? How many times do you read a story about someone who's renovating a house in the Midwest and they find all this cash behind the walls? It's just something we do. We hoard cash and we want it in hand. And I think during the pandemic, we're absolutely seeing that. But cash has been sort of waning. People don't use cash as much as they did in the past. Again, I think I've got 2 20s in my wallet. I don't think I've touched them in 6 months.
Yeah,
so
but Rich,
I'm not
I think
using it much. So.
I think this goes a lot deeper when you start talking about cash and the impact of it overall. I mean, if you think back when the initial stimulus came out in April, and I think the initial date was April 17th when people were going to receive their stimulus checks or actually be deposited directly in their account, and then we found out that the people that really needed it didn't even have a checking account, and there was no way for them to do so.
That's why you can't get rid of it.
So they had to send a check. But then think about a loved one or somebody you're trying to help, and you want to give them $20 or $40 or whatever it may be. You're not going to be able to do that without somebody tracing it and tracking it at that point. And so I think that getting away from going to a cashless society will have a material impact.
Yeah, but I hope we don't get there. No, I agree with you. I just don't think we're going to get there.
Yeah.
I just think that it's becoming more convenient.
Oh, it is.
But I just don't think, and I think the reason why it's become a shortage is more of an emotional issue than it is some grand conspiracy to get us into a cashless society.
Well, I think it's the
But I agree with you. I wouldn't want to be in a... And Rogoff wrote a book about this and got a lot of flack for it, about going cashless. Rogoff's a big economist and so forth. I read a lot of his stuff. I haven't read that book, which I probably should do now. But I just think at this point, cash is is monitored. How much cash is requested is monitored by the Fed. But we are just using less cash. But we're holding more cash. I don't think. But we jump to the discussion of we're going to go to a cashless society. If you take the pandemic away, think about how many times you've really used cash. I mean, I put everything on my credit card so I can get points, right? And then pay it off. But cash, too, especially lower income, giving gifts, is a necessity. You would destroy, destroy some elements of the economy. I just think at this juncture, it's being hoarded. And that's where there's a problem when you go to a restaurant and see we're taking debit cards, we're not taking cash. And people think it's because of the pandemic, too, because money is dirty. And money, don't ever read any studies about how dirty money is.
You won't ever want to touch it again.
You won't ever touch it again. But the point, again, is I don't even know if you can... Listen, I don't know if anybody knows how you catch this thing.
Well, they're taking cash, but they're not giving change, is what's happening.
Well, no, some restaurants I've gone to now, they won't even take cash.
But I think it goes even deeper than that, Rich.
Take cards.
I mean,
and they say due to the germophobia thing.
Yeah. That may not come back. But the other aspect is think about it. If you owed somebody money, or like when our kids did our T-ball team, we're making T-shirts for everybody. Mm-hmm. Instead of cash, they said, well, just sell me your Venmo or whatever it may be. So technologies came
I'm using
so far.
I use Cash App a lot. Mm-hmm. So, but there are...
Zelle.
But you do need to have some sort of checking.
What is Cash App? I never heard of that.
Oh, it's another one.
That must be an old timey deal.
But look, if you have dirty dollar bills,
Yeah.
send them to me.
You'll clean them, take care of them.
I'll take care of them.
You're going to launder.
Perfect.
Brent just
Whatever.
admitted to money laundering.
I'll even use
If you can find laundry detergent.
Downy dollars.
Heck, you know what? Yeah, listen,
There you go.
Listen, I am a big fan of Softscrub. I'm sorry, I'm going to clean my cleaning habits. But that Softscrub with the bleach.
Oh, yeah?
Go ahead and try to find Softscrub anywhere in this world, planet.
Yeah. It's a bleach
I'm
shortage.
obviously not. I'm not the only closet freak that likes Softscrub. But nothing cleans a sink better or a countertop than that. I mean, that you should just brush with that stuff. It would take your teeth would be white.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not telling anybody to brush with Softscrub because that's where that seems to go when you tell people stuff. But what I'm saying is that, gosh, try to find.
Well, they were putting it out in two versions,
Not
with or without
Softscrub.
bleach, and
Oh
now
yeah, no, yeah, right. These stuff without bleach.
they're going to put out several versions in 30, 40, and 50 grit.
Well, thanks to Rich, now they're going to have to put a new disclaimer. Please don't brush your teeth with it.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
I'm just saying the cleaning aisle is odd as far as what's in there. I did get
Which is not much.
I did get the Mr. Clean magic wipes or whatever the heck they are, but I'm like, where's my Softscrub? Very, very disappointing. So you're going to get this severance package. I just had this question the other day. Well, I shouldn't put money in my health savings account. I just want all the cash. I'm like, no. Right? We want to try to maximize your health savings account contribution. I know you're a big fan of these. Like I am of Softscrub. You are of HSAs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why do you like them so much?
Well, the kicker here is that, one, this is the only account in the world that's going to give you that triple tax benefit of money goes in tax-free, you leave it and let it grow, it's going to grow tax-free, you take it out for medical expenses down the road, it's going to be there and come out tax-free. There's no account that'll give you that ability. So the problem, and we've been trained to kind of like an FSA, flexible spending account, you use it or lose it. And the HSA is a little bit different because it does allow you to roll the funds over year to year. The idea would be is if you can actually put these funds aside and not use them, pay for medical expenses annually out of your pocket, this is one of the best retirement savings accounts that you can have. Studies show, looking at different numbers, HealthView Services, Fidelity, Transamerica Retirement, many different studies show that you're going to spend $280,000 to $350,000 in retirement on healthcare alone. So it would be prudent to put these funds aside and let them grow in this manner. Now, you can't put a ton of money in there, Rich. It's $3,550 if you're,
Right.
a single. If you're married, you have a family, you can put $7,100. So you're not going to be able to break the bank. And yes, I understand it's a lot of money for a lot of people, maybe more than what you're putting into a 401k. But I would even go this far, Rich. If your employer is not matching, I'd max out that HSA first, then go back to the 401k. And start putting funds and contributing there. And even then, I'd probably go to the Roth versus the traditional pre-tax 401k.
So, but people are getting money in their severance. They're going to get, 6 weeks pay, whatever it is, 12 weeks, whatever. And they're like, well, I don't want to max out my HSA. Well, I'm like, we're going to do that. And then I must have really failed in my communication because a client I've been working with for so many years goes, oh, yeah, I've been using my HSA every year and I've been fine. I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
Whoa, no. That's a failure on my part. So make sure you do that as part of your severance. Don't, they'll fund it. Just make sure you do it. Also, this is the big question. Do I take my lump sum or a pension annuity? And the decision, I will tell you, is personal. Every broker is going to tell you to roll it over.
Yeah, we could spend a lot of time on this one.
We sure can. So many variables have to go into whether or not you take the pension or not, including the viability of that pension. And believe it or not, there are a lot of corporate pensions that are in very good shape, right? But you need to run the numbers. It's not as easy decision. Okay, again, I understand it. Again, one of my dear clients she's lost her job. She's gotten a severance. She's younger than 59 and a half. And I said, listen, and it was worth it for her to take the lump sum. We crunched the numbers. I said, well, you want to leave the money there because you're going to need to, I want you to withdraw from the IRA first to recreate your paycheck. And there, you avoid your 10% withdrawal penalty. So there's going to be and I've run into this, I don't know how many times, Danny, you have, where right away someone goes to the broker and they roll it over and they go, well, now I need cash. I'm 56 years old. Well, I'm like, should have just left it in the 401k to avoid the penalty. Yeah, there are ways to take it out of your IRA and avoid the penalty, but it's a pain in the neck to do it.
Well, and they've done that right now because of the current environment that
you got to be tied to pandemic. It's got to be a pandemic type of expense. But I'm saying is sometimes leaving it in the 401k for a little bit because you need the money is not a bad idea.
And the other aspect of that too, Rich, before we go to the next segment, is that taking funds out of the 401k right now may be a better option than actually using cash that you have on hand that's you've already paid the taxes on.
Absolutely.
So take advantage of those opportunities right now, especially if you don't have the typical income that you'd have coming in, maybe your lower tax brackets. And with these new tax policies that are likely going to come down the road, you want as much after-tax dollars as you can have.
That'd be good for you to expand on because it's very counterintuitive, Danny, when we come back. Here at the Real Investment Show on 700 KCV, the voice of Texas. Stay tuned for our next segment.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet. Sign up for the Real Investment Report now at realinvestmentadvice.com.